오빤 강남스타일 강남스타일 Hangover, 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 hangover. I'm a motherfucker gentleman. 준비하시고 쏘세요. That I like that. 기분 좋아, baby.
Before BTS became global superstars, before K-pop became a worldwide phenomenon, there was one man who crashed through every barrier the industry had built. He didn't have the looks. He didn't have the choreography. He definitely didn't have the image. What he had was something far more dangerous, the audacity to be himself in an industry that demanded perfection. This is the story of how Psy went from being Korea's most controversial reject to the artist who made the entire planet dance. Park Jae-sang grew up in Gangnam, the wealthiest district in Seoul, where his family ran a successful semiconductor business. The plan was simple: get a good education in America, come back, take over the family empire. But Psy had other ideas. He dropped out of Boston University to pursue music. His parents, hoping it was just a phase, sent him to Berklee College of Music thinking formal training would cure him of this dream. He dropped out again. By the time he returned to Korea with no degree and a head full of musical ideas, his family knew they had a problem.
Psycho world. This is Psy.
In 2001, Psy released his debut album and immediately proved he was nothing like anything K-pop had ever seen. Psy showed up with blunt lyrics, bizarre performances, and a complete disregard for what was considered acceptable. The government fined him for inappropriate content. Civil groups complained about his influence on youth. Radio stations slapped age restrictions on his songs. He earned the nickname the Bizarre Singer and wore it like a badge of honor. But here's the thing netizens noticed: despite all the controversy, he kept winning songwriting awards. The Korean government wasn't done with him though. In 2003, Psy was drafted for mandatory military service. He served his time, got out in 2005, and thought he was free to focus on music again. Then the hammer dropped. Authorities accused him of neglecting his duties during service, and in 2007, they redrafted him. He had to serve all over again. By the time he finished his second stint in 2009, Psy was financially destroyed. He couldn't afford to produce his own music anymore. His career, which had been controversial but profitable, was now controversial and broke. His wife sat him down and told him what he didn't want to hear: he needed help. She convinced him to reach out to an old friend, Yong Hyun-suk, who now ran YG Entertainment. Joining YG in 2010 should have been Psy's salvation, but it felt more like a surrender. Other artists at the label protested his signing. YG was building a teen empire with groups like Big Bang and 2NE1, and here comes this 30-something guy who looked like someone's uncle at a barbecue. His fifth album Right Now dropped and immediately got banned for obscene lyrics, even as it won awards for composition. By 2012, Psy had topped Korean charts multiple times, but internationally, he was invisible. At 34 years old in an industry obsessed with youth, he was considered washed up before he even got started globally. Most people would have given up. Psy decided to go bigger.
오빤 강남스타일
July 15, 2012. Psy released Gangnam Style, and nobody saw what was coming. The song was pure satire, mocking the very district he grew up in, poking fun at Seoul's nouveau riche who pretended to be classier than they were. He shot the entire music video in just 48 hours with whatever celebrities and locations he could grab, including Hyuna and a child dancer named Hwang Min-woo who would become iconic. The first day brought 500,000 views. Respectable, but nothing crazy. Then on July 29th, American rapper T-Pain tweeted about it. Everything changed overnight. Western celebrities started sharing it like wildfire. Britney Spears, Katy Perry, Tom Cruise, all posting about this weird Korean guy doing a horse riding dance. By September, the video was averaging 6 to 9 million views per day. Scooter Braun, the manager who built Justin Bieber into a superstar, saw something nobody else did. He didn't just see a viral hit. He saw a chance to break a Korean artist into the American market for the first time in history. He signed Psy and started pushing him everywhere. Morning shows, late-night television, award ceremonies, anywhere with a camera. On December 21, 2012, just 159 days after its release, Gangnam Style became the first video in YouTube history to hit 1 billion views. The song peaked at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, top charts in over 30 countries, and won Best Video at the MTV Europe Music Awards, beating out Rihanna, Katy Perry, and Lady Gaga. The weird kid who didn't fit the mold had just conquered the world. The aftermath was surreal. When Psy gave a speech at Oxford Union, they had to assign tickets by lottery because demand was higher than when Mother Teresa or the Dalai Lama had visited. He performed at Times Square for New Year's Eve, on Saturday Night Live, at the MTV Music Awards, basically anywhere that would have him. But Psy later admitted he was living in what he called a dream and nightmare simultaneously. The pressure to recreate that success was crushing.
I'm a motherfucker gentleman.
In 2013, he released Gentleman, which broke YouTube's record with 38 million views in a single day. But even that felt hollow. He knew the truth that nobody wanted to say out loud. People loved the song, not necessarily the artist. He was the hit, not the hitmaker. Unlike BTS, who would later build sustainable careers with dedicated fan bases, Psy was tied to one moment in time. He kept releasing music, kept performing, but nothing would ever touch what Gangnam Style had done. Something shifted in Psy after the whirlwind settled. In 2018, after 8 years with YG Entertainment, he made a decision that shocked the industry. He left. But he didn't retire or fade away. Instead, he founded P Nation, his own label, and became the architect instead of the performer. His first major signing in 2019 was Jessie, a Korean-American rapper who didn't fit the idol mold either. Then he signed Hyuna and Dawn, a controversial couple that Cube Entertainment had kicked out for dating. Psy was building a home for misfits, for artists who were talented but didn't fit into the neat little boxes the industry demanded. He added Crush, He Eyes, and even formed a boy group called TNX through a survival show. And where did he locate his label? Gangnam. The same district he once satirized had become the headquarters for his empire. In 2022, Psy collaborated with BTS's Suga on a track called That, and it felt like a passing of the torch. BTS members have repeatedly thanked him for opening doors and acknowledged the burden he carried in paving the way for Korean artists in the West. Psy still performs at his annual Summer Swag concerts in Korea, filling venues with fans who remember when he was just the weird guy nobody wanted to sign. He's not chasing another Gangnam Style, because he doesn't need to. His legacy isn't just one viral song. It's proving that you don't need perfect looks, perfect choreography, or a perfect image to make history. Sometimes being the odd one out is exactly the superpower you need. Psy didn't fit the mold, so he broke it entirely, and in doing so, he showed an entire generation of Korean artists that there was more than one way to conquer the world. The industry rejected him, called him too old, too weird, too controversial. He responded by making the whole planet dance to his tune. And that's a level of revenge that no carefully manufactured idol could ever achieve.